Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Today is April 14th. The Rays still haven't lost. Ian Happ, he gets paid. We're talking about it. Let's do it. Hello, everybody. My name is Steven. This is the middle of the order. Thank you guys for tuning on in for another series recap. I hope you guys had a great week. I know I did. Finally got to go to some baseball games, got to go check out the new Rogers Center and watch the Blue Jays take on the Tigers. I've lost my voice a little bit, so if I sound a little different or if I'm coughing a little bit, apologies for that. I am not at 100% strength, so I will not be at my best today's episode, but we've got things to talk about. It's another week, and it's going to start off with Ian Happ getting paid by the Cubs. He signs a 3-year extension for $61 million. He receives $3 million as a signing bonus. In 2024 and in 2025, he'll get $20 million, and in 2026, he will get $18 million. That makes up the $61 million. It's a no-trade clause, so he will be a Cub up until his free agent year in 2027. I like the move. I think it's important for the Cubs to kind of lock down him. He's kind of been the face of that franchise ever since they traded away guys like Rizzo, Bryant, Baez. So, you know, to have a face like that, they're trying to be competitive in the NL Central Division in the coming years. You know, they got Cody Bellinger this year on a 1-year deal, Dansby Swanson for 7. Excuse me. But yeah, I think Ian Happ fits in nicely as a Cub. It would have been sad to see him leave, but the Cubs get him, so Cubs fans can rejoice with that one, and he will remain a Cub for the next 3 years and the rest of this season. So good for Cubs fans. We're going to dive in to our series recap for the week games. Remember, any games that happened yesterday on Thursday that are part of a 4-game set for the weekend series, we're not going to mention until Monday's episode. I hope you guys are all having great days wherever you listen to this, morning, evening, nights. And we're going to dive into it. So, series recap, here we go. Starting off, we've got Boston taking on Tampa Bay. First game is extremely quiet. There's not a whole lot of scoring and a lot of great pitching, but it's Brandon Lau, who hits a solo shot for Tampa Bay in the bottom of the 8th. They'll get the win there, 1-0. In the second game, it is the opposite of the last game. Tampa hits 4 home runs from Isaac Paredes, Yandy Diaz, Brandon Lau, and Josh Lowe for the win, 7-2. In game 3, the Rays make the move to call up their prospect Taj Bradley, who makes his MLB debut. He goes 5 innings pitched, 3 runs allowed, 1 walk, and strikes out 8. It's a Randy bomb. Boom, Rays up 3 in the first. Later on, the Rays up 5 before Boston starts to come back a little bit. Rafael Devers hits a home run to put them within 1, but the Rays will hold on. Bradley gets his first MLB win. They take it 9-7. And in the fourth game, it is Rob Refsnyder and Yandy Diaz who hit homers in the first to tie it 1-1, but the Rays will score 7 runs in the fifth. They get the 4-game sweep against Boston. They remain undefeated. They are 13-0 and take that last game 9-3. Moving along, it's the A's and the Oilers. Baltimore uses the long ball in Game 1 from Ryan Mountcastle and Ali Rutschman, as well as Austin Hayes. They take the first game 5-1. In the second game, this one was back and forth until Shea Langeliers hits a 3-run shot for Oakland to put them up 4. So Ryan Mountcastle has to do what he does best. He hits a 3-run shot, and then Austin Hayes hits a solo shot. They will tie up the game at 8. And then Ryan Mountcastle, he hits a grand slam. He has 9 RBIs on the night. Baltimore takes the second game. They win it 12-8. In the third game, it is Oakland has 2 innings. They score 3 runs. One was from a Brent Rooker 3-run homer. They take it 8-4. And in the final game, Baltimore scores 7 runs. in the second and third inning, again with Mountcastle going deep for his third of the series. But Oakland comes back. Brent Rooker, his second of the series, he hits 2 home runs in this game, so his second and third. But the Baltimore Star, Adley Rutschman, he hits the walk-off home run. Baltimore takes 3 of the 4 games, and they win that one 8-7. Moving on, the Tigers and the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays finally get some home games, their home opener with new renovations, but it's Nick Manton who ruins the party. He hits a 3-run home run to silence the crowd, but that doesn't stop the Jays. It's Matt Chapman. He homers to put them within 1. Kevin Kiermaier homers to tie the game, and then Springer homers to give them the lead. Kevin Kiermaier and Springer go back-to-back. Bo Bichette, he'll homer later in the game, and Alejandro Cook puts this one out of reach. He gets a 3-run shot. Blue Jays hit 5 home runs in their home opener. That seals the deal. They win it 9-3. In the second game, it's Nick Manton again and Kerry Carpenter who homer for the Tigers. They're up 3-1 heading into the 9th, but a single walk and a hit by pitch plus 2 sac flies tie it up at 3. We're going to extras there. Romano gets through the 10th, no damage, and it's Springer who gets the walk-off base hit up the middle. The Jays win it 4-3. And in the third game, the Jays looking for a sweep, but Javier Baez is going to give them a hand. He makes a mistake going to third with 1 out on a fly ball to center field. It's a huge mistake. He gets doubled off, and then AJ Hinch removes him from the game for his blunder. Again, it's 3-1 Tigers heading into the 9th. Is it deja vu again? No, it is not. The Tigers lock it down. They get the win and avoid being swept. They win it 3-1. Yankees and Guardians, they play 3. Zunino goes 3 for 3, including a double that ties the game at 2 in the 4th inning. Josh Naylor with the sac fly gives the Guardians the lead, which they'll hold on to thanks to Emmanuel Clase. He's looked really good. They take it 3-2. In the second game, it's the Yankees who score 5 runs in the third with a 3-run shot from Cordero. And with Cole dealing the way he was, the Yankees cruise to an 11-2 victory there. And in the final game, it's Rosario who homers for Cleveland to make it their lead 3-0. Kyle Higashioka singles in 2, and then Cordero again ties it at 3. Oswaldo Cabrera, he singles in a run in the 9th, and the Yankees will take it 4-3. The White Sox and Twins, White Sox score 4 in the 4th with a Hanser Alberto hitting a 3-run home run. Tim Anderson would get hurt in the bottom of the 4th on a play and have to leave the game, but the White Sox do hold on to their lead. They take it 4-3. In the second game, it's Byron Buxton and Michael A. Taylor who homer for the Twins to take a 3-2 lead, all the way up until the 9th when Luis Robert Jr. hits a solo shot to tie the game, forcing us into extras. Michael A. Taylor, he singles the winning run. The Twins walk it off. They beat the White Sox 4-3. And in the third game, things get a little scary as Kyle Farmer gets hit in the face by a pitch. He leaves the game. Twins would score 2 in the 8th as insurance, as it was a 1-1 game. They'll take the series 3-1, but we're hoping Kyle Farmer is doing all right. Royals and Rangers, Corey Seager and Jonah Heim both hit their first homers of the year before Texas scores 7 in the 6th with the help of Adolis Garcia. He hits a grand slam. Andrew Heaney, he strikes out 9 batters straight to tie the record. The Rangers take this one 11-2. In Game 2, it's Corey Seager who would leave the game in the 5th inning with an injury. MJ Melendez, he singles in a run for the Royals in the 9th to tie the game and send it to extras. Kansas City would score 1, but it's Jonah Heim again. He hits a walk-off home run, and the Rangers will take the game 8-5. And in the final game, it's Nathaniel Lau who homers for the Rangers to put them up 1-0 before the Royals score 10 unanswered runs, including a home run from Vinny Pasquantino. The Royals avoid getting swept. They win it 10-1. Nationals and the Angels. The Angels are up 4-1 in this one with a Renfroe home run, but the Nats will come back scoring 5 runs, including a 3-4 to tie the game at 4. Nats win 6-4. When Ohtani pitches, it's hard for any team to score runs, and in Game 2, he's starting, and the Nats don't score. Logan O'Hoppe, he hits his 4th home run of the year. The Angels win it 2-0. And in Game 3, Brett Phillips gets himself an RBI for a bases-loaded walk to tie the game at 2. It's Logan O'Hoppe again who gets the RBI single. That brings the Angels to another win, 3-2. Marlins and Phillies. It's Sandy Alcantara Day. He gets rocked by the Phillies. They put up 9 against him with home runs from Cave, Bohm, and Marsh. Yurli Gurriel gets his first as a Marlin, but the Phillies take it 15-3 on Sandy Day. How dare they? In Game 2, it's Luis Arias. He hits the first ever cycle in the Marlins franchise's history. They were the last team to have someone not hit for a cycle. They are now, every team has hit for the cycle. He went 4 for 5. John Birdie, he also homers in this game. The Marlins take it 8-4. And in Game 3, it's Jorge Soler who crushes a ball in the 8th to tie the game and send it to extras, where Brian De La Cruz singles in the run for the Marlins, and AJ Puck was in lockdown mode. He locks down the game, and the Phillies are not allowed to score with him on the mound. The Marlins take it 3-2. They take the series 2-1. Padres and Mets, a little rematch from the Wild Card Series last year. It's McNeil and Lindor who both double in 2 runs each, and Max Scherzer looks great over 5 innings of work. The Mets take the win 5-0. In Game 2, it's the X-Man, Xander Bogaerts. He homers in the 9th for some insurance runs that would come in handy if the Padres would need it. They get Game 2 and win it 4-2. And in Game 3, it's Soto who hits his 3rd home run of the year, while Lindor hits his 2nd. But it's Pete Alonso who hits his 6th and leads the league alongside Mountcastle, who also has 6. The Mets win the game, and they get a little bit of revenge from the playoffs last season. They take that game 5-2. The Reds and the Braves play. The Reds scored 2 in the 9th inning to tie the game and send it to extras. It's Jonathan India who singles in a run for the Reds, but it's the Braves and Sean Murphy who get the last laugh as he hits a walk-off home run, his first home run of the year and his first as a Brave. The Braves win it 5-4. In Game 2, it's Matt Olson and Ozzie Albies who homer for the Braves. Arcia drives in 2 runs for them, and they'll take the game there 7-6. And in Game 3, it's Ron Acuna who has 3 RBIs, but Eddie Rosario, he hits the go-ahead home run in the 8th inning. That would be the difference in this one as the Braves sweep the Reds 5-4. Astros and Pirates. The Astros score 7 runs in the first 4 innings. Kyle Tucker with 3 RBIs. Ji-Man Choi, he hits his first home run as a Pirate. The Astros do hold on to it and take the game 8-2. In Game 2, Alex Bregman and Kyle Tucker homer for the Astros, but Jack Sawinski with 1 swing, he ties the game with his homer. Ji-Man Choi hits 1 out for his 2nd homer of the year, back-to-back games. But it's Chas McCormick who doubles in 2. That would retie the game, and we head to the 9th. Jay Hwan Bae, the Pirates rookie, gets a 3-run walk-off home run. Fun fact is Ji-Man Choi and Jay Hwan Bae are the first Korean teammates to homer in the same game in MLB history. Pirates win a fun one, 7-4. And in Game 3, it's Corey Julks. He hits his first Major League home run, and Alex Bregman, he hits a 3-run shot. This one is all Astros as Urquidy shoves. Astros take the series and take the game 7-0. Mariners and Cubs, it's a beautiful night in Wrigley as we jump to the end in this one. Jared Kelenic hits his first home run of the year to tie the game in the 9th to send it to extras. However, the Mariners cannot score, and the Cubs walk it off on a Nico Horner base hit to right field. They get the opener 3-2. In the second one, it's a really fun one here. The Mariners jump out to a 7-0 lead in the first 2 innings with a Suarez home run, his first of the season. But the Cubs will score 8 in the 3rd inning including Trey Mancini getting his first home run of the year, his first as a Cub, and Nelson Velasquez hitting the grand slam that puts the Cubs out front 8-7. Kelenic does homer again, but the Cubs get some insurance run. They hold on to the lead and take the game 14-9. And in the final game, it's Teoscar Hernandez and Jared Kelenic who go back-to-back with Jacks. Kelenic is starting to look good. He has homered in all 3 games in this series, 3 back-to-back games, and the one in this game went 482 feet. Bellinger goes deep late in this one, but it's not enough. The Mariners avoid getting swept. They win 5-2. Cardinals and Rockies get underway. They go back-to-back in this one until the 6th inning, where the Rockies score 2, and then they get another one in the next inning. They'll take the first game 7-4. In the second game, Tommy Edman, he is the second batter of this game, and boom, 1-0 home run. Cardinals take the lead. Juan Yepes, he goes deep later on. But then here come them Rockies. Elias Diaz, Ryan McMahon, and CJ Cron all go deep to give the Rockies the lead. Nolan Arenado, former Rocky, he gets the bases clearing double as he drives in 3 runs to tie the game in the 9th. And then it's Nolan Gorman who homers. Cardinals pick up a few more insurance runs. They win it 9-6. And in game 3, Jurickson Profar leads off the game for the Rockies with a home run. Boom, 1-0. But it's Tyler O'Neill and Nolan Arenado who both go deep for both of their second home runs of the year. The Rockies would tie it up, but it was Nolan Gorman again who got the go-ahead 2-run shot. Jordan Walker, he extends his hit streak to 12 as he has gotten a hit in every game he's played in the majors so far. Cardinals win it 7-4. The Brewers and the D-backs, it's Zach Gallen who keeps the Brewers quiet as he goes 7 innings, only allowing 3 hits. Walker gets the 2-run shot in the 5th inning, and the Diamondbacks will win 3-0. In game 2, it's the reverse ace. It is Corbin Burnes, the ace for the Brewers, who goes 8 innings, allowing 3 hits. And the hitters go to town for the Brewers, including a home run from Willy Adames, Ray Tellez, and Mike Brosseau. They win that game 7-1. And in Game 3, it is Lourdes Gurriel Jr. who gets his first home run as Diamondback, and Corbin Carroll hits his 3rd of the year. The D-backs take the game and the series. They win it 7-3. Finally here, we've got the Dodgers and the Giants. Mookie Betts leadoff bomb to start the game. And Max Muncy, he is a bad man in San Francisco. He has always hit well there. And again, it was no exception. 2 home runs, a 3-run shot, and a grand slam for 7 RBIs. The Dodgers win it 9-1. In the second game, it's the Giants who hit 2 home runs late from Brandon Crawford and David Villar. The Giants pitchers hold the Dodgers to 3 hits. They take that game 5-0. And in the final game, it is Max Muncy again. He homers to tie up the game in the 5th inning. Freddie Freeman, he has a 15-pitch AB that ends up with a bases-loaded walk before as Max Muncy again a 3-run shot, his 4th of the series, his 5th of the year. Tracy Thompson goes yard late. The Dodgers take it 10-5. The Rays still undefeated. They're 13-0. They, alongside the Yankees and D-backs, are the only 3 teams who have yet to lose a series. So congrats to those teams. And I mean, the Rays, they are heading to Toronto for 3 games. It's going to be the first team they face that had a winning record last year. So it should be interesting, should be different experience. Which is going to be a fun watch. Rays and Jays, definitely the matchup to watch this weekend. Let's start with the game of the week. We're going to Chicago to get the Mariners and Cubs' second game of their series. It started off with Eugenio Suarez, who hits the home run, a 2-run shot. Then J.P. Crawford, he'll get an RBI in the second inning, 3-0. Suarez sac fly for 4, Raleigh single for 5, Hernandez single for 6, and Wong a force out 7 runs. 7 runs in the first 2 innings. It's all Seattle. But then here come them Cubs. Gomes, he singles in the bottom of the second. That made it 7-1. And in the third, Trey Mancini, a 2-run shot to make it 7-3. Hosmer, a single, 7-4. And then Nelson Velasquez, he hits the grand slam. And all of a sudden, things have changed dramatically in this game. Cubs take the lead 8-7 before Dansby Swanson singles in another run in the inning to make it 9-7. Jared Kelenic, we talked about the series he had. He has his second home run of the year. That puts Seattle back within 1 to make it 9-8. In the bottom of the fifth, Swanson singles, Trey Mancini singles, 2 more runs come to the plate. Cubs up 3. It's 11-8. Bottom of the sixth, Nico Horner, he doubles in 2, 13-8. Nick Madrigal in the same inning, he singles 14-8. And then in the top of the eighth, Ty France, he'll single 1, get 1 more run for the Mariners, 14-9. It is your final. Kelenic, we said, he's looking, he had a really nice series. But yeah, pitching was not in this game. But it was a fun watch. If you're a Cubs fan, being down 7, some people probably turned off the TV and then scored 8 in the next inning over and took it over from there. So it was really a fun watch there. A lot of walk-offs this week. There was a lot of great games to choose from, but I just felt like this one was a lot of fun. We love high-scoring games here. So yeah, that is your game of the week. Now to quickly go over our outstanding performances, we've got Corbin Burns. He went 8 innings pitched, 3 hits, 8 strikeouts. For the D-backs, we got Zach Gallen, 7 innings pitched, 3 hits, 11 strikeouts, and a walk. And then for the Twins, it's Pablo Lopez. He went 7 2/3, 3 hits, 10 strikeouts, a walk. He did allow 2 runs, but 3 very good starts for 3 very good pitchers. Now, we're doing something a little different this week. Instead of going with our usual hot and colds, I want to do rookie talk. We have a lot of rookies who have been making big impacts for teams. I've got a handful of them that I just want to talk about. Some who have been helping a lot, and others who haven't really gotten going yet. And to start off, we're going to go with Baltimore's prospects, Grayson Rodriguez and Gunnar Henderson. Now, Grayson, he's done an okay job. He's gone 9 1/3 innings pitched in 2 games. He's allowed 7 runs, 11 strikeouts with an ERA of 6.75. Obviously, not anywhere ace potential. But, for 2 games in the majors, it's different. There's a lot of adjustments. I feel like he'll start to figure things out. He hasn't lost any of those games. He has no decisions for both those games. So I'm sure he'll be fine. And Gunnar Henderson. Now keep in mind, all these stats for Rookie Talk, this is based off of this year alone. If any of these prospects were called up a little bit later last year, those are not impacted in these stats here. But Gunnar Henderson this year, he's averaging 162 with an OBS of 651. He has 2 RBIs, 1 home run, 7 runs scored, and a stolen base. He has not looked like he did last year when he got the call. He needs to start figuring things out and turning things around. Baltimore has been winning games even without him, but with him, the Oilers are set to continue the way they've been playing, and they really need him to figure things out, to funk out of his snap to start the year here. Moving on over, Boston Red Sox, Masataka Yoshida. He's been a subpar, a little bit of average. His average is 216. His OBS is 680. For those of you who don't know, OBS is on base plus slugging. He has 1 home run, 6 RBIs, 8 runs, and 2 stolen bases. So he has looked well, but he Boston's gonna need all the help they can get in the East Division. So it would be nice to see Yoshida have a little bit more contribution. Here's another prospect or rookie, I guess, who hasn't been holding his own ends. Anthony Volpe for the Yankees. All throughout spring training, all throughout last year, the Yankees wanted this guy. They wanted him in the majors. They got him, and what they have is a guy who's averaging 158, an OPS of 493. He has no home runs, no RBIs, 3 stolen bases, 3 runs. I mean, this is supposed to be the next Derek Jeter for Yankees fans? Like they wanted this guy, and he has not done much so far. Yes, it's only 2 weeks in the series or in the season, but they were expecting a lot more. And those Yankee fans, there's only a matter of time before they start turning on him and wanting more change. So I don't know how we feel about that. Taj Bradley, not a lot to say about this guy. He only made his 1 start a couple days ago. We mentioned that. He's 1-0. He won the start. He went 5 innings, striking out 8, allowing 3 runs. His ERA is 5.40, which is obviously high, but he only has 1 start to show for it. The Rays find these guys. They turn them into stars, and there's no exception there. Astros, they have Hunter Brown, a starting pitcher. He's gone 2 starts. He's won 1 of them. 11 2/3 innings pitched, 12 strikeouts, 4 runs for an ERA of 3.09. He had a really mid first start, but his second start was really well. So we're going to see how the Astros can keep him going to put him together. And now this is a guy who I've been really excited to watch. Logan O'Hoppe with the Angels catcher. He's looked great. He's averaging 257, an OPS of 937. He's got 4 home runs, 11 RBIs, 5 runs. He's looked great. He's kind of come out of nowhere. Wasn't really on anyone's lists. He was there, but he's been probably the best American League prospect so far. Probably taking it right now for Rookie of the Year. But he's been fun to watch, and I think he's part of the reason why the Angels have done so well. Moving on, Texas, Josh Jung. He's batting .286 average with an .824 OPS. He's got 2 home runs, 5 RBIs, and 7 runs. So another kind of third baseman who's finally getting his licks. This was a guy who's supposed to be around in 2020, and just now is he starting to really find his role with the Rangers. So excited for him. And the Astros, another guy that wasn't really on anyone's list, Corey Julks, kind of just appeared, and he's been hitting really well for the Astros. He's averaging .294, OBS of 727. He's got a home run, 2 RBIs, and 6 runs scored there. One other guy I want to mention for the AL really quickly is Eduardo Julien, Canadian from Quebec. He just got the call for Minnesota a few days ago, and yesterday against the Yankees, he had quite a game for himself. He's only played 2 games. I don't want to talk about him too much because that game is going over for next week, but already in his 2 games, he's averaging .284 with an OBS of 1.089. He's got a home run, an RBI, and 2 runs. So he is set to make an impact for the Twins if he can keep up. Moving on to the NL favorite, my favorite, D-backs favorite, Corbin Carroll. He's averaging .255, an OBS of 739. He's got 3 home runs, 6 RBIs, 7 runs, and 5 stolen bases. He is fast. He's a fun watch. That's Corbin Carroll. Cardinals, Jordan Walker averaging 294, 784 OPS. He's got 8 RBIs, 2 home runs, 4 runs, and a stolen base. We talked about that 12-game hit streak. Every game he's been in, he's gotten a hit. How long will that last? It's been fun tracking that. The Dodgers, they always find guys. This time they find James Outman. He's batting 289, OBS of 1.122, 3 home runs, 10 RBIs, 8 runs, 2 stolen bases. He's having himself a really great start to the season. For the Brewers, they have Garrett Mitchell. He's averaging 279 with an OBS of 884, 3 home runs, 6 RBIs, 7 runs there. And the Reds, just because we're looking to be a bad team, you can find some fun players, and Spencer Steer has been a fun player. He's averaging 325, the OBS of 988, 2 home runs, 6 RBIs, and 6 runs scored here. A lot of batters. One more pitcher to mention, Kodai Senga for the Mets. He's definitely been the best pitcher so far out of all of the rookies. In 2 games, he's won both of them. He's 2-0, 11 and a third innings pitched, 14 strikeouts, and only 2 runs allowed. That's good for an ERA of 1.59. So those are kind of the rookies that I feel like have been making big impacts or should be making big impacts for their teams but aren't. That has been Rookie Talk. Logan O'Hoppe, moving into my favorites of just players in general. We love him. And Corbin Carroll, of course, as well. So, yeah, Rookie Talk. One thing to mention here, not really MLB, but it's Fernando Tatis Jr. He's played 6 AAA games. He's 11 for 23. That's good for 478 average. He has 4 home runs, 6 walks. His OPS is 1.673. He is eligible to return to the Padres on Thursday, and I'm sure the Padre fans are looking forward to that. Just want to mention that really quickly, that Fernando is almost back in the majors. That's going to be fun for a lot of people. So the last thing for today, we're taking a look at the upcoming weekend series. We already mentioned a couple of them. The Rays and the Blue Jays, that's going to be a big one. Can the Rays sweep the Blue Jays and continue their undefeated streak? Angels, they're flying to Boston to take on the Red Sox. The Twins are going against the Yankees. Baltimore, they're heading to Chicago to take on the White Sox. The Braves are going to Kansas to take on the Royals. The Giants take on the Tigers. The Rangers will be taking on the Astros. It's the Mets and the A's. They'll play together. Rockies and Mariners, Guardians, Nationals, D-backs, and Marlins have a series there. Phillies and Reds, Pirates, Cardinals, and then 2 fun ones here. Brewers and Padres, and Cubs, Dodgers are your weekend set series. That's going to be all for our episode today. Thank you everybody so much for listening. I hope I don't sound too bad. Obviously was not at 100%. If you have any feedback for this episode or for me in general, mid_of_the_order on socials, Instagram and Twitter. You can all find that in the link in the description if you're on YouTube. Thank you, everybody, so much for listening, and I will see you guys on Monday for the weekend recap.